Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 1 of the Road to Doomsday podcast. I am your host, Francesco LaPuma, and I am joined by Connor Mercer.
Howdy.
And Trevor Evans.
Hey.
Welcome, boys, to the podcast. How are you feeling today?
I'm tired, but I'm good. I'm ready to get this show on the road.
I'm feeling pretty good about this. I haven't rewatched most of these in a while, so it'll be fun.
Oh, I constantly rewatch these.
And, obviously the MCU is so popular, so I want to sort of introduce ourselves even further by showing the audience our Marvel stories, in a sense, how we got introduced to this crazy universe of superheroes. So, who wants to go first?
I have a great story.
Tell away.
So, in 2007, I went and saw Spider-Man, right? I loved it. And then, the following year, May 4th, 2008, Iron Man releases, and I get to go see it for my birthday, and I just fall in love with the MCU from there. RDJ's portrayal to the movie itself, little 9-year-old me, loved it.
Was this your first introduction to these characters, ever?
Yes. This was it. I was 9.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying some people read comics. There's obviously.
Oh yeah. No, my
things.
dad was just like, "Hey, there's this. You like superheroes? You've been a fan of Spider-Man for a little bit now. Obviously, it's been like a year since I knew him, but there's this another superhero movie coming out, Iron Man, and it's gonna be great. You're gonna love it. Why don't we see it for your birthday?" And so we went and saw it for my birthday. I had a bunch of friends, and we went and saw it, and it was a magical experience for me. And I've just been in love with MCU ever since. I literally watched it as soon as I could when I grew up and was able to, watch these movies on my own.
I mean, that's really the magic of it all.
Yes, it really is.
I'll go next because I have an interesting story. So
wow. I'm kidding.
Sorry, bro.
I wanted to go again.
All right, talk more about Iron Man.
Yes, Iron Man. Okay, so Tony Stark.
My first introduction to these characters was actually through Lego. I'm sure you guys are aware of Lego Marvel Superheroes, the video game. That is still a good game, by the way.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Ages phenomenally. And especially the story, but obviously that game has a ton of Marvel characters in it. And that's how I really was first introduced to a lot of these characters. But after that, things pretty much dwindled. Obviously, I grew up. And, as you go older, sometimes memories fade. I feel like I have the memory of a goldfish nowadays.
Oh, me too. Don't worry about it.
Now, I have a hard memory of how many movies I probably have seen. But the most prominent one, I think, was just one random weekend, I believe in May 2018. And a new movie was coming out this weekend, so me and my mother were pretty much bored, and we're like, hey, let's go to the movie. There's a new Avengers movie in theaters and whatnot. And obviously, I have prior knowledge of these Lego games, the Lego Marvel games, so I knew a fair amount of things. She probably knew nothing. So I was like, well, I'll take charge on this. So we went into the theater, and my first prominent MCU movie was Avengers Infinity War.
That was your introduction to the MCU.
That was my introduction.
Infinity War.
Wow.
I thought you were going to say Ultron. No, Ultron was 2016.
No,
I believe
that was
it...
Civil War.
Was that Civil War?
That was Civil War, because Spider-Man was 2017.
Oh, you're right. I get that. You know what? I'm going to stay away from dates. Dates and me don't match.
Infinity War is 2018, right?
Infinity War, yes.
Yes.
Infinity
Endgame
War
was 2019, and then like a year later, the world ended.
Yeah. But yeah, my first major movie was Infinity War, and when I tell you my mind was blown,
You're going to have to expand on what that was like, because there's been so many movies before that set up so many things that happen in that movie.
I mean, I knew the basics. I knew, that's Iron Man in the red suit.
Yeah.
Captain America, even, he had like a beard. He was a traditional Captain America.
Yeah, no, he wasn't.
So
not in that movie.
It was a bit of a learning curve. I knew Spider-Man was there. I know why he got an ugly new suit, which we'll get to, by the way. But,
I thought it was a nice suit.
It was fine. It was okay.
It's okay.
It's not my favorite, no, but I liked it.
But
I liked the Iron Spider.
Yeah.
I'll
Isn't that what we're
I'll
talking
fight
about?
anyone on the Iron Spider.
That was the
that
Iron
is the
War
Iron
suit.
Spider. In Infinity War?
Yeah.
That shiny metallic one?
The one that he gets on the flying donut.
What movie am I thinking of?
Homecoming, where he wears the homemade suit.
No.
The black and red one from Far From Home?
I think I'm thinking of
That's
that
a good
one.
suit.
No, yeah,
That's a fantastic suit. That's probably the suit I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
I'm
the red
sorry.
and black
I'm
was
think-
Far From Home. Red and black, yeah.
Yes. My
With
bad,
the
guys.
web wings and stuff.
I'm confusing
I thought
movies.
you were the one who was like the
It's
big
supposed to be
nerd on
I
this.
am the big nerd. You know what? It's because I've
You've
watched
seen
them
all of them so many times, they all
They
mesh
just
together.
Exactly. That's what's happening.
I mean, that's why we're doing a rewatch, and we get to do an episode about each of them.
Yeah,
we'll get to
and-
that. We'll get to that later.
yes. Okay. Yes.
But yeah, Infinity War is a crazy start. I didn't know who the hell Thanos was, but Thanos specifically, I think even in Infinity War, without knowing, like he was in post-credit scenes prior, is a very compelling villain.
Yes.
'Cause Infinity War is really his movie. It's about Thanos. It's about his conquest toward getting these Infinity Stones and whatnot. But yeah, that started my journey to the
It's
MCU.
also the where they lose.
Yes.
They've never lost before, and now they end a movie where they lose.
And it was a cliffhanger, yeah.
Imagine being the guy who's like, I don't want to see these stupid Marvel movies. It's just the good guys beat the bad guys, and then like you see Infinity War, and it's the only one you've seen. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah, like they don't win in the end.
It's crazy. I don't know. That's my Marvel
That's
story.
crazy.
But now
That's
I'm just gonna state for the record, I've been nodding, and I just realized that I've been nodding and not saying yes. So pretend I've been saying yeah.
visualize Connor nodding.
Visualize me
Yeah.
nodding.
Imagine Markiplier nodding.
Yeah.
That's Connor.
Hello, everybody. My name is Connor. No, so I grew up on.
white Markiplier.
Gotta specify that.
Connor is not Korean, guys.
So I didn't grow up with like the traditional superheroes. I stayed away from Batman and Superman and Spider-Man because they just didn't interest me as a kid. I was big on Captain Underpants.
I love
I'm
Captain
not going to
Underpants.
be afraid to say that I still am. I went and finished the novels not even 2 years ago, and I'm 22, so take that what you will. I liked superhero stuff, like in SpongeBob, they had the superhero episode, the International Justice League of Super Acquaintances.
Nice.
And Danny Phantom, I guess, is kind of a superhero show. I loved that growing up. But I didn't see any of like the major movies until one day, after years and years of my friend being like, you got to see the Marvel movies, you got to see Batman. I was like, I don't really care. Come on. And one day he's like, come on, do it. And I'm like, okay, maybe one day. And I'm on vacation and I'm bored. I'm not doing anything. And I'm like, okay, my friend has been telling me to watch these Marvel movies. What's the one that just came out? So I look it up, and it's Civil War. So this was probably either summer of 2016 or summer of 2017. So Civil War, first one I saw, I watched it on, am I allowed to say I pirated it? Disney Plus didn't exist yet, and I wasn't about to buy the DVD because I didn't have cash, and we were on vacation, and they weren't going to take me to the store. So I pirated it, and I was like, wow, that was awesome. What else do I watch? So we went home from the vacation, and then I pirated Homecoming. And that one was brand new because it was a camcorder of the movie. So I guess it was summer of 2017. That was my first Marvel experience. I watched 2 pirated Marvel movies at the halfway point of the story. And then eventually I went back and watched the originals. Like at some point, the old ones that I saw last were probably like Hulk and Thor. Not long after I saw Spider-Man, I went back and watched like Iron Man and the Avengers. And I liked those a lot. But not super long after all of that, my friend was like, Infinity War is coming out like this week. Have you seen all the Marvel movies? I was like, the important ones. I saw Iron Man. I saw Captain America. And he was like, did you see Thor Ragnarok? I was like, no, I didn't see Thor Ragnarok. I was under the impression that the Thor movies weren't like integral. And I was wrong. And Trevor's making a face.
You're getting
So wrong.
I remember I pieced this together like a puzzle. So I was relatively late to the party. Not as late as Francesco here. But I was still piecing it together. So it was either the day of or the day before Infinity War came out, we put on, I think we rented Thor Ragnarok. And I was like, wow, that was awesome. I can't wait to see where they go with this next. And then we got to the theater, and then it's been 5 years. I'm going to say it. Loki dies. Yeah, I'm still
Spoilers.
I know.
God.
I'm still burned on my friend saying Han Solo died. So I try not to like just blurt things out. But it's been like
Hey guys.
10 years.
Jon Snow dies.
Bro.
Oh,
You know what's
but
crazy?
then he gets resurrected. Don't worry.
You know what's crazy? I don't even watch Game of Thrones. I'm gonna walk home. I'm gonna walk out that door, and I'm gonna forget who Jon Snow is.
Fantastic.
But yeah, I mean, that's basically all there is to it. I got on relatively late. I was thrilled by what I saw. And then
Well, you came in just a very
nick of time.
high,
I got to see Infinity War and Endgame in theaters, which was awesome. I think I saw Endgame like 2 or 3 times. My brother saw it like 5. He thought it was awesome.
I mean, they
rookie numbers. Rookie numbers.
How many times did you see Endgame in theaters?
In theaters? 3 or 4. But
5 is a rookie. That's higher. That's a bigger number.
I've seen it 15 times in total.
Okay, well, I meant my brother saw it like 5 times in theaters.
Okay, well, you didn't say in theaters.
It was implied. I was talking about in theaters. I said I saw it like 2 or 3 times in theaters, and then I said my brother saw it. You know what? I'm rambling. I apologize.
Sorry.
The long story
I might have
short-
missed that in theaters then. My apologies.
The long story short is that I hopped on the train late at the peak, and I thought to myself, this couldn't possibly get any better, right? And then I was proven right. I'm not a fan of Phase 4 onwards. I'll be the first to say that. Trevor, I know, likes those. I don't. There's some that I did like, but
I'm an optimist through and through. So.
I was watching like what was the first movie that came out? Black Widow. I was watching Black Widow thinking, and then I watched. There's so many. That's the problem. I can't like give you a timeline. But the more I saw after Endgame, the more I was like, wow.
I think that's really a testament to how strong the narratives were for Infinity War.
Prior,
Endgame.
yeah.
1000%.
The Infinity Saga is, and that just proves how strong it really was.
I mean, if I pieced together the multiverse saga out of like random order of movies and TV shows, I would have been so lost.
Yeah.
I was able to, because I'm not saying it's a simple story, but it was easy to digest. So that definitely helped me get into it late to the party.
Yeah.
And with how pivotal these Avengers movies are for both getting new people into the MCU and also just the narrative importance of culmination of all these stories of these individual movies, that ties greatly into the topic of this podcast specifically. This is the Road to Doomsday podcast, obviously referencing Avengers Doomsday, coming out, I believe, December 2026, which is in about a year from when we're recording this. This is a rewatch podcast as we go through the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. So that's all 30-something movies.
Oh, boy.
All of them. I'm so excited.
And maybe a couple shows, but it's going to be...
I'll rewatch the shows for everyone. Don't worry.
The problem with the shows is they're like the pre-WandaVision, none of them were like intrinsically important. Like they were good. I liked Daredevil, I liked Punisher, but you didn't need to see those shows.
If you're offering to watch all of What If, that is all on you.
I've already seen all of What If.
You can rewatch it again for all of us. That's all I'm
Okay.
saying.
–
Fantastic.
But like WandaVision...
The animation style is... I'll watch it alone for the animation style.
The thing about like the newer shows is that like the viewing requirements for Iron Man 2 is Iron Man 1. The viewing requirements for Doctor Strange 2 is not Doctor Strange 1. It's WandaVision and Spider-Man. Spider-Man No Way Home. Because they were like, oh yeah, here's something that happened. No, it's not a sequel to Doctor Strange. It's a movie with Doctor Strange as the main character. So like you have to do your homework with the newer stuff, which is
phase 4 and onwards is
just
kind of
not very fun.
I have written here. So.
It is very much like, oh, if you didn't see something, you will miss out.
Yeah.
And to a much larger extent than, say, if you just started watching Infinity War. You know what I mean?
Yeah, where you can kind of piece, oh, I kind of heard about this guy, oh, I kind of heard about that guy, and then you can kind of get sort of story from this and that. But when you get thrown into the multiverse, it's all hell breaks loose. There's no...
And I mean, now with Doomsday,
up is down, down is up, left is right, red is green, green is red.
I mean, Doomsday, you have hundreds of probably players in that movie.
Oh yeah.
How are they gonna do that?
That's
like the whole lineup with all the chairs, it just kept going. I'm like, oh my god, it's still going.
And that's not even probably all of them.
No, probably not.
Another 60 chairs.
Morbius is coming back, guys.
Like I mentioned, we're gonna watch all the theatrical releases and the shows. We'll see how it goes. We are absolutely going to watch WandaVision and both seasons of Loki, as those I believe are the most pivotal.
Those are required for several movies.
Yes.
Those are the only ones that I can think of that are like deliberately required. I guess Miss Marvel and the Marvels.
Yeah, I was
guess we can
just
cross
about to
bridge when
bring
we
that
get there.
up because
But is it like required? Is it just like more of an introduction? Because like I'd say
You
WandaVision
have
is
you have
is
no
extremely
idea
required.
who this chick is prior if you don't watch.
But that's most like introductory movies. Like, does it give you any context to? Because I haven't seen either.
I'm trying to think because it's like
It's very self-contained. I mean,
it is very self-contained, but what's her name?
Kamala Khan?
Kamala Khan. Just kind of there's a connection you have with the character when you watch the series. Like,
Would
her
you say it's
backstory,
recommended or
how-
required?
Recommended.
Okay, so then I guess we'll cross that
Because
bridge when we
you
get there.
you figure like you know why, like how she got her power, like the whole her coming into her power, dealing with it, learning the ropes. You see how big of a Captain Marvel fan she is, like that whole thing. Like you get a sort of glimpse in the Marvels, like with the scene, like everybody's seen in the trailer where she comes into her room and she's
And there's
like,
just
what
Captain
the-
Marvel stuff everywhere.
Yeah, and it's Captain Marvel stuff everywhere. So you get a little bit, but you really get that full experience if you watch the season.
I think we'll do shows on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
I don't expect us
Like
to watch
something
one.
like Moon Knight is not like tied into any of the movies.
No.
Even though most of
it's
that
a
show's
fun
pretty
watch.
good.
It's a really fun watch,
am-
and everyone should watch it.
I think it's a bit of an unpopular opinion to say I like Moon Knight.
Well, I liked most of Moon Knight. I just think
it's
the
a
ending
very
wasn't-
unpopular opinion. Everyone who I talk to says
Really?
they
Like they
say,
hate
"Oh
all
my
of
god,
it,
it's
or-
so confusing. I couldn't even get into it. I didn't know what was going on. It was just
No,
so
I think-
back and
I think
forth.
Moon Knight
It
was one of the better-
crazy. It was a trip. I'm just repeating things
Yeah.
I've heard.
But
you know?
I think Moon Knight was one of the better post WandaVision shows. It's just I've noticed that they can't write an ending. Like WandaVision had an okay ending.
Yeah. I think it's because they're trying to leave it open.
Yeah.
Because it's
Well, the problem with
trying to
that
tie
is it's
into
not
the
even like
universe.
leaving it open. It's just they can't write an ending. Like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think had a really really bad ending.
I don't remember anything from that show.
Loki season
went-
1. I didn't see season 2 of Loki. Season 1 of Loki, the finale was just exposition, which I guess made sense because it was
It
like
felt like
explaining.
it felt like it was setting up.
Yeah.
It felt fine to me. The
What,
ending of Loki.
Well, yeah, but it was just exposition. Like it didn't feel
Yeah.
it didn't feel like the ending to
It
to a season 1 of a show. It felt like
You're right. There wasn't. It was just kind of like, hey, these guys were robots, and now we're kind
think
of moving into it, and it kind of leaves you on a mystery kind of area where it's just like, what's season 2 gonna bring us, rather than an actual like ending for the season. But I think they kind of did that on purpose so it can go into a second season.
Well, let me put it this way: there are better ways to do a cliffhanger ending.
Yes, I can agree with that, 100%.
I was going to say something before and I completely lost it. I think the show that I disliked the ending the least was Hawkeye. I think that might be the only one that I guess you'd say stuck the landing, in my opinion. A lot of them just could not end to save their lives. I mean, Hawkeye, it's been a couple years. I'm going to spoil it, so, I mean, cover your ears, I guess. But
This is a rewatch.
well, for the
podcast.
audience, I don't know. If most people haven't seen it, it's a good show.
It's a great show.
Until the
Highly
ending.
recommend it.
Spoiler alert: they cut to black right before the final fight, and then when they cut back, it's over. And I thought that was stupid.
Well, that's what happens in spoilers. Moon Knight.
Well, yeah,
They
but
cut
like
the
they were
Ev-
cutting in the
every
beginning
single thing
as
is
a
like
way
a
of
cut.
showing us that he wasn't alone in his own body, but to cut away from the what do they call it, the third act fight. There was no third act fight, and that was I think that was a bad writing decision. I think that am I allowed to say blue balled? I think that was a very blue balled ending. That's just my 2 cents.
All right. And then a couple last things here. We're not watching any of the multiverse movies or like the Fox era movies or the Sony films.
Just strictly MCU.
Strictly
Strictly
MCU, starting with Iron Man, which we'll get to in a bit. And then finally, we will go in release order. So obviously, as the movies came out, it will be the episodes in order, basically. So yeah, that is the podcast explained. I think it's gonna be really fun.
I'm super excited.
I hope so, because there's like 30 movies.
Yeah, we're
At
in
least
for the
3
long
seasons
haul.
of TV.
Yeah, we are in for the long haul.
I haven't even seen everything. I still haven't seen Dark World. I skipped half of Phase 4. I've seen one episode of Echo. I thought it was okay, but it just didn't hook me. So I skipped most of phases 4, 5, and 6. Even though phase 6 just started, I haven't seen Fantastic Four. So, I mean, they lost me. And I know they haven't lost Trevor. He's staring at me with this evil glaze. But, I mean, I guess you'd say, I don't even know if this is a fair comparison, but I guess you could compare me to the casual audience. I mean, they've lost a big chunk of the casual audience. They lost me.
I'd say that's pretty
I didn't even
accurate.
think I was the casual audience because I watched. By the time I saw WandaVision, which wasn't even a year after Endgame, I had seen most of the movies up to that point. So I wouldn't even say I was casual. And then they just lost me. Like, it's just, there was so much of it that wasn't... I mean, we went from great to okay at best, is the way to put it. When you have so much okay at best, you lose interest.
Trevor, how many times have you
Let's just put it this way. I've seen every single movie that's come out in theaters day of release, pretty much.
Since Iron Man.
Since Iron Man. There's pretty much been only a couple that I've seen week after release.
Do you remember
But-
what they were?
No, I can't remember off the top of my head which of the 30-something films
I mean, it's a
that
rarity.
I've seen in
I've
theaters.
seen a small enough number that I could pick which ones I've seen in theaters because it was pretty much just Infinity War, Endgame, Far From Home, and then most of Phase 4, and then like 2 or 3 of Phase 5.
Yeah, no, I've seen Iron Man, I've seen Thor, I've seen Dark World, I've seen Avengers, I've seen Captain America, I've seen Ragnarok, what's the only one that wasn't released in theaters? Black Widow?
No, that was
No,
that
no,
had
what-
that
what- no, that
simultaneous
was
release.
released.
I saw that in theaters.
I did see that. I just remembered that I saw that in theaters.
That one stung
That
the
one was
hardest.
weird,
That
though.
one stung the hardest because it was the first one. No, it wasn't the first one after Endgame. It was the first Phase 4, but they did have Far From Home.
They had Far From
But it was
Home,
the first
which was
one.
great.
It was the first one of Phase 4, and it had been like 2 years since Far From Home and Endgame, and that wasn't a great movie. I mean, there were parts that I did really like. I liked Red Guardian a lot, and I liked Natasha and Yelena's dynamic, but the writing in that
sister
the
dynamic.
writing in that movie was not great. Again, the ending was weird. Marvel I think they forgot how to write an ending. But coming off of Infinity War, Endgame, and Far From Home, that stung.
Yeah, fair enough. They've done Taskmaster so dirty in the MCU.
Yeah.
I just have to put that out there since you were mentioning Black
I'm kind of
Widow.
glad they killed Taskmaster, I'm not going to lie.
Spoilers.
Okay. This is a rewatch.
Yeah, but that's Thunderbolts. That's recent.
That's like 6 months old by now, isn't it? Wasn't that like March?
fair enough. Fine.
I think May. So obviously that is our groundwork for the podcast itself, which is going to be fun. But now, just to sort of wrap down the podcast, I want to do a little pre-watch fun, I like to call it. So obviously we have all seen a majority of the MCU. I'm sure we have a top
All of
5.
it.
Or some, all of them.
Most of it.
All of it. All of it.
So I'm sure we all have our top 5s.
Yes.
To some
Oh.
degree. Vague top 5s, some more concrete. I'll go first because mine is a pretty concrete list. These are the top 5 movies that of the MCU that I love the most. So I'll start at number 5 with Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok is a super fun film, and for me, it very much revitalized the character of Thor. Obviously, he's very Shakespearean in his previous movies, but this one turned the comedy up just enough. It was a fun plot, and it was really fun, and you threw the Hulk in there. Who doesn't love Hulk?
Hey, yeah.
And my number 4 is Avengers Infinity War. This, I think, is still probably the best Avengers movie. It wraps everything into a nice, neat little bubble. You have a bunch of characters who should not work all together all at once, but somehow they do. And it's a really masterful story of this Titan. Thanos is the Titan?
The Mad Titan.
The Mad Titan.
Mad Titan, yep.
And it's just great. And number 3, Captain America, The Winter Soldier. This is still a
Great movie.
really good movie.
I got my wisdom teeth out when I was recovering. That was the first movie I watched.
I thought you were about to say while they were doing that, they had it on the ceiling TV.
Dude, I wish. I wish I was awake during my surgery. I could just stare at the
That's how I watched
Soldier.
Open Season. They were doing dental work on me when I was like 6, and they had Open Season on the ceiling.
It's amazing.
So yeah, Captain America: Winter Soldier is still a phenomenal film. And my number 2 is a recent one, is Fantastic Four: First Steps.
Really? That's like your top 2?
It is,
Dude, it's a really, once you watch it, it's so good, dude.
I haven't read many comics. I'll admit that live on the podcast. I'm not much of a comic reader, but of the comics I have read the most Fantastic Four specifically, and they obviously have a very interesting theatrical history between the Fox films and one we shall not name. So
It's fantastic.
it was not fantastic.
No, it wasn't.
So Fantastic Four: First Steps was honestly a comic brought to life. Not of its like massive fantastical elements, but the narrative and the characters and the family dynamic specifically is top notch.
I have so many opinions that I want to talk about right now, but we can't because this is just introductory things.
So that is my number 2. And then number 1 is I love this movie a lot too, Spider-Man: No Way Home. It in a time of Phase 4 where
Fantastic.
obviously cameos are rampant between both Marvel and DC. No Way Home was able to do cameos in a very tasteful way by introducing obviously the villains, but also the other Spider-Men without making it seem like, oh, hey, it's that guy. Do you remember from
It's
20
Glorbo McBlorbo from that one movie. No, yeah.
They did a
1000%.
great job incorporating them and not like overshadowing past Spider-Man movies or the past characters or even ruining those characters in any sense.
It was very satisfying.
Yeah.
And the theater experience I had during this film attributes to it being number 1 because it was a very cultural moment at the end of the pandemic.
Everyone was
I'd say.
cheering
Yes.
like every 5
Oh,
minutes.
yeah.
Which was
This
weird,
movie
but,
really-
like,
It was a
way.
big thing.
Brought back movie experiences after,
yeah.
after COVID. I mean, people were stuck at home, but now this movie specifically, I mean, all the leaks and rumors leading up to it, like, oh, are they going to be in it? Are they not going to be in it? It was a fun time. So No Way Home is my number 1.
What about No Way Home is they did it in a way where it's like you didn't need to know the characters from the older movies. Like
No.
it
They basically reintroduced
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
in a way that was like
And they used
Fluent.
them as such pivotal points for Tom Holland Peter.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Toby
Oh,
has,
yeah.
Toby has the wisdom, and Andrew was like the darker path of
Mm-hmm.
what could happen for Tom Holland, which I have a couple opinions about Tom Holland's iteration of Spider-Man.
I honestly, I know I'm getting off topic. I didn't hate him as quote unquote Iron Boy Jr. I get he should have like his own path, but I didn't hate him as like at the beginning at least the sidekick to Iron Man. I do think it's good that they split off from that path, but after like 2 iterations where he was just Spider-Man, putting him in a world with other superheroes where he got to be like, I guess sidekick is a demeaning word in that case. Maybe he's like a foil to Iron Man.
I'd
Mentee?
be like, yeah,
Apprentice.
mentee. I was about to say I'd call it a mentorship, and I really enjoyed Tony Stark, Peter Parker mentorship. I enjoyed the dynamic of it, and I thought it came to its natural. Obviously, it came to its like natural kind of conclusion when Tony ends up passing away. But like, and tying into that with the end of No Way Home, I forgot the title for a second.
They all have home in it.
Where
Hard to remember.
they forget who he is, who Spider-Man is. Everyone across forgets who Spider-Man is. So
They forget
he gets
who Peter
to,
is, not Spider-Man.
I'm sorry. Yes, who I meant the cat. Like who Peter is. So he gets to become this now Spider-Man with all the heroes, like you were saying, and not under anyone's mentorship and anything. So I think it comes to a kind of a great conclusion in terms of that relationship and dynamic that you were discussing.
Let it be known that I was nodding the whole time. I keep forgetting there's no cameras.
Well,
I'm looking right at him. I'm going, and no one can see it.
I can confirm that he's been nodding along to me.
Sorry, guys. I'll make my list brief. It's in no particular order. We got Winter Soldier, which is a great movie. I may have seen it for the first time on an airplane. Don't worry, I've rewatched it several times since. It's a great movie. Spider-Man Homecoming is still my favorite Spider-Man movie, next to Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Verse. Like, those are my 3 favorite Spider-Man movies, but MCU, Spider-Man Homecoming takes the cake. The first Iron Man is legendary. That can't be understated.
You
In a
literally
vacuum,
can.
in the MCU, in any manner, it's legendary. This is going to surprise a lot of people, but I really like Age of Ultron. I honestly don't know if it's my favorite Avengers movie.
Finally, I have another guy.
I like it.
Yes, please.
I understand where people are coming from when they say, "Wow, week of Ultron," and that it's like it's not dark and destructive enough. I mean, at the same time, I get why they're joking around so much because like they've done this whole thing before. They won in Avengers. The movie starts with them taking down like the last of several Hydra bases. It would be weird if they weren't joking around with each other because it's like just another day at the office for these guys.
It's like they just won.
Yeah,
they're celebrating it, like
especially
know what I mean?
in the more serious parts, they're not joking around.
Yeah,
like in the newer ones, they're like they have the moments of seriousness that certain scenes require that they get right. Like Ultron doesn't go and kill people and then like, whoa, that just happened. Like they don't do that.
No.
I do get where people are coming from, where they say it could have been a two-parter or more destructive. I don't disagree, but I do think that what we got was pretty good. And then my number 5, again, no particular order, Infinity War. That's just a phenomenal movie. Everything comes together even the other movies come together in a really well way here. But this movie itself ties itself together really well. It's just such a well-made movie. Like, Endgame is a fun movie, but Infinity War is a movie. It's just, I don't know how to put it to words.
Endgame ties it together, but Infinity War definitely tees it up to
if Endgame takes the cake, Infinity War bakes the cake.
Yes.
It's a really stupid metaphor.
No, it works.
But
that's poetry.
Like, it's cooking.
Yes.
Let them bake, I guess. Yeah, in no particular order. I still don't know if I prefer Age of Ultron or Infinity War. It depends on how I'm feeling. Age of Ultron, they win. It's a very well, they're both satisfying movies, of course, but Age of Ultron is a more optimistic ending. And I don't have to tell you that Infinity War is a very pessimistic ending. They all lose. Half the universe dies. You can't really overstate that they're not, oh, well, better get them next time. No, it's a very sad ending.
Yes.
So different day of the week, I guess I'd say which one I prefer. All right, so what's your top 5?
All right, guys, lock in. Okay. So for my top 5, I have to start with this is in no particular order, by the way, because I can't be bothered to order them except my number 1, but we'll get to that later. I have to go with Iron Man. Iron Man, the original Iron Man's definitely on my list, and it's just there for, well, not only because I think it's just a fantastic movie. It starts the whole journey off, the whole MCU for nostalgic reasons as well. It's my it's on there. It's in my number 5 list. Then I have Civil War. Civil War. I know people hate to throw around the word perfect when describing movies, but to me it is one of their like more perfect kind of movies. It's so good. Their actions, from the action scenes to their tense moments to just everything about that. There's a story. Holy shit. Hold on. Where am I going with this thought?
While you do that, I actually have to ask.
Yeah,
I thought it was quite a slow build. Do you think it was a perfect movie? Or like close to perfect?
What do you mean? Okay, but what do you mean slow build?
Like there are good slow builds and there are bad slow builds, and I think it kind of teeters on that edge. At least in the first maybe 30 minutes.
You need to give me something more. How is it
forgive me. It's been a year
build?
I'm not saying it's a bad slow build. I'm saying it's like, I don't know if I wouldn't call it perfect. I wouldn't call it a perfect movie.
Well, I'm not trying to call it perfect. I just
saying it takes a while to get good is being harsh, but I can't think of a better way to describe it.
That it takes a bit to get rolling.
Yeah, that's probably a better way to put it.
I guess I can see that, but I didn't feel like it took. What do you think? Did it take too long to get started for you?
Well, in the beginning, it starts with her blowing up like the town square, right?
Yeah, but like there's like a 30-minute period after that where it kind of slows down.
It's the separating of the two parties.
It's
building them up.
You kind of need the exposition between.
You can't get straight into the Civil War.
Literally, something has to happen. Something has to spark. You have to see both sides. You have Captain America on one side, and
I'm not saying they should have started fighting like right then and there, Martha. But like at the same time, I don't know how to describe it. I just think it could have been executed a little bit more gracefully. like
better pacing. I can see better pacing. I also am not. I wish they don't just throw these villains in
And
like
then
Crossbones
kill them.
and then just like, because they kind of did the same thing with Taskmaster. They just kind of threw Taskmaster, who's supposed to be like this bit more. We can talk about that when we get to.
That's like a year away.
I know. I keep bringing up future topics. Okay. Anyway, back to my top 5. I really like Civil War. All right. I really liked the whole social aspect of it as well. Like, who'd team you on? Whose team you on?
Whose team are
I
you
mean, that
on?
was a big part
Who
of
do
the
you
market.
team you think I'm on?
I'm Team Cap.
This makes so much sense. I'm
Really?
obviously Team Iron Man.
No way.
Not even just for the characters that are on it. I just think the Sokovia Accords were stupid. If we're going off the
Yes.
back of Shield was Hydra for like 50 years, and now that Shield is no longer Hydra, we can't just assume that that's never going to happen again.
Yeah.
That's my stance on the Sokovia Accords.
It's fair enough, but Daddy RGJ. No,
You got me there.
No.
You got me there.
No, but seriously, I agree with Iron Man's point of you need something. You can't just have these people running loose on the world, good intentions or not.
I get that.
You know
but
what
at
I
the same
mean?
time, they were kind of forced onto the Sokovia
Yes,
Accords.
it was
and-
more of a forcing when they could have definitely had a more gradual approach.
Like, let me put it this way: if every single one of them had said "fuck you" to the Sokovia Accords to General Ross, there would have been no conflict. They have basically no way to enforce that. Like they could have gone back in the future and said, "Here's our proposal." But at the same time, is the UN really going to be like, "All right, let's arrest all the Avengers"? If there's like an ongoing fight and half of them are supporting the Sokovia Accords, then there's like a precedent for them to act on that, which is what they do in the middle of the movie. But if there's nothing and they just say, "No, we're not doing that," what's the alternative for them? I think if they'd all banded together and say, "We're going to come up with something better," I don't think any of them would have been able to argue that.
Yeah,
I know that's not what
just
happened.
Not
But I'm saying
I
the
just don't
Sokovia
think
Accords were
that's
not nearly
realistic to say, because it's just like every country is now fighting to have a power of their own. Now, this brings up so much things in actual like politics around the globe with surrounding this, because once you have superhumans running amok without any consequences, who pays for it? You break a this, you break a that, who pays for it?
I'm not saying I don't get that. I'm just saying that the Sokovia Accords were the wrong move.
I think they were they left the heroes out of the talk too much to make the Sokovia
Yeah,
Accords.
they were like just presented.
It was
with it.
yes, exactly. It was like 192 sovereign countries or some number like that.
He remembers the actual number. that they
It's
used
probably
in the
not
movie.
the actual number.
I'm thinking about it. I think it is, because that number feels familiar.
It feels right, but
Yeah.
it probably is wrong. Anyway, they came to this and signed these accords into thing. No one said that any of the Avengers were there when they made the accords. And I think that's where the problem is, and not so much that they needed to reject it outright. Because you don't want all of them to reject it outright, like you were saying, because the world then goes into red alarm mode that, oh, we have all these vigilantes now. They're not superheroes. To the common people, they'll probably still be superheroes. But now to governments around the world, they're now vigilantes and seen as enemies to every government. So you see now what the issue is?
I'm not saying I don't see that. I'm just saying that like they were basically doomed as soon as they were handed the Sokovia Accords. I think that there was the wrong move.
They needed something at the same time, though. And also, if there was nothing to spark the Civil War, we wouldn't have gotten a Civil War.
Well, I'm not saying for like writing purposes it shouldn't have happened. I'm saying like for like in-universe reasons that the Sokovia Accords were bad. Obviously, I liked the movie. I liked the movie a lot.
Yeah.
And it needed to happen for the purposes of the movie. But like let's say if I were a Marvel citizen and I heard about that, I'd be like, that's kind of stupid.
yeah, but you hear a bunch of politics nowadays and bills
Well, yeah.
nowadays that are like, yeah,
You
that's
don't have to
fucking
like
stupid.
them. I'm saying
you don't have to like
I don't
them.
like it.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, I'm gonna move on with
Yeah.
my top 5 now because I feel like we've been talking about this for a
We
while.
can move back to that when we get to
Yeah,
the Civil
when we
War
get to
movie.
Civil War, we can have a bigger, in-depth conversation about
That's
this.
going to be like a
and
5-hour
diving-
episode.
Yeah, we're gonna talk. I can already tell me and you are gonna go back and forth during
Iron
Civil
Man
War.
Cap.
Yeah, like, quite literally.
You got to show up in costume.
Yo, what team are you on, Francesco? You didn't say it
I
all.
think we should move on.
He's like, both sides were stupid. They did all.
You're a centrist.
Okay. All right. So what have I've already lost which ones I've said.
did Iron Man, you did
Iron
Civil
Man,
War.
Civil War. Okay. Yes. I also have to put Infinity War on my list. It's the first movie they lose. It ties the whole saga together, and it ends on such a note where, you just leave that theater and you're just like, wow.
Flabbergasted.
Yes.
Great word. I
completely.
use that
Yes.
word all the time. People don't use it enough.
Flabbergasted.
Great
I love
word.
that word.
Yeah.
You just oh.
Bewildered.
You're like, wait, it's a superhero movie. They just lost? What's gonna happen?
What do you mean the good guys lost? They always win.
Wait, no, but they just broke the stone. What do you mean? Huh?
Bro hit instant replay and they lose?
Literally, quite literally, like, oh, you just did all that work killing the man you loved? Sorry. Whoop.
Too bad.
Yep. Time reversal. Anyway, no, but it's such a good, well thought out, put together. It brings the whole journey like together at the end, and then same with Endgame. Really, it's like really jumping off point. You start at such a low in Endgame, which we see a lot of superhero movies where, like in Black Panther, we see enemy beats your hero falls from grace, struggles, comes back up, beats dude, right? And is hero. In Endgame, we start with defeated heroes. Yeah. You don't see the heroes defeated because they've already been defeated. So I like that dichotomy that they have going. And so going on to my next two, I'm kind of lumping these together because they are probably my most watched, and because I watch them back to back. So that's Avengers and Iron Man 3. I watched these two movies. Well, first of all, I watched Avengers. It's probably my number one. Avengers is probably my number one.
That's a pretty good pick for number one.
Yeah, it ties so much of the beginning up, and it does it in such an excellent way where all these characters are meeting and discussing, and they don't even adhere to a solid team in the beginning at all. And then they start working together throughout the movie, and you really see them coming together at the end. But more on that when we get to the episode. But I just love it so much. It is such a good movie. I have seen it more than 69 times. That is not a joke. And I only stopped counting after 69 times because...
Why would you?
For the bit.
Exactly. I can't, how could I... First of all, how could I stop watching that beautiful movie? I can't, so I'm just gonna stop counting how many times I've seen it after the funny number. Ha 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 ha. But since they follow each other in universe as well, it's such a good watch through to go from Avengers and then see direct aftermath of one of these characters. Yeah. In Iron Man 3, it paints such a great picture of like what happens to a hero after something surreal happens. They haven't seen aliens before. Tony Stark hasn't been dealing with aliens on his planet, really, not really. And then all of a sudden there's a giant wormhole in the sky and a giant alien armada coming down to attack him, and he's quite literally the first one there to see it and to experience it. And he literally goes into space and falls back down to Earth, right?
And that haunts him until Infinity War.
Haunts him.
That kind of follows
whole
through
time,
all the way. Yeah.
And it is pieced together, and we get to see the first instance of it directly after in Iron Man 3. And so I think it's just so good. I also am a huge Iron Man fan, and I loved seeing all the different kinds of suits in that climax finale. And
So I have a question. I like all 3 Iron Man movies. I know 2 and 3 are not nearly as popular as the first one. Mm-hmm. Do you like Iron Man 3 because of its as a coda to Avengers, or do you like it as a movie? Because I like it as a movie, but like I want to know what you think.
I like it as a movie, but it being a coda adds to its value to me. You know, so like I started out watching them like separately. I didn't always watch them back to back. So like I think it was like back in high school where I was trying to do like a timeline order. It kind of fell through for me, but you know, since the Avengers and Iron Man 3 are in the beginning of the timeline, so I was able to get through those 2. And I watched them back to back, and I was like, wow, these work really well because they quite literally happen one right after the other. Iron Man 3 quite literally picks up directly after the events of Avengers. So then from that moment on, I just fell in love with watching them back to back. And from there, I watched them constantly. Anytime I was in the mood for Avengers, I'd watch Avengers and then I'd be like, no, I kind of want to watch Iron Man 3. And I'd throw that on and I'd watch them back to back. But I do like it as a standalone movie. I don't think I needed Avengers to enjoy it, if that answers what your question really was.
See, now I'm thinking, do I watch them back to back now for this?
Well, we are. Are they
But
not?
like back to back.
No, like it's a full 4-hour experience.
Like I'm considering that now, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I want to, but I kind of want to.
It's a good experience. I highly recommend it.
I may just do that down the road because I don't want to get my thoughts mixed up. If
Yeah,
we are
no,
gonna do the
totally.
show.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe that's the episode instead. We just do one episode on both movies.
Maybe
2-part episode.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We could
Keyword
think about
maybe.
more of it later. Yeah.
Keyword maybe.
Yeah.
Speaking of maybes, let's move on to our next little topic here. Now, obviously, we've all seen a majority of the films, so we have our favorites. Some more than others. We have our favorites, but I'm sure there's at least one that we just do not like. So, my question is, what is your least favorite Marvel movie before the rewatch? I'll go first. So, again, I might have mentioned earlier, I have seen a majority of these movies, but there is one movie in this sea of 30-something Marvel movies that I've never finished because I was so unbelievably bored that I turned it off, I walked away, and I never finished it. That was Thor: The Dark World. I have never finished that movie.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen it.
The
And
amount of time
Back when that was
asleep.
Back when that was the worst Marvel movie, how times have changed.
And honestly, you don't even really need to watch it because of Endgame. Endgame is basically whatever you need from Thor: The Dark World.
Even if you watch Ragnarok, they do the bit where like it's Thor watching the play or Loki watching the play, and it's just the Dark World, so you're caught up.
Exactly.
It is. I still think there's still like mini moments in it that you need.
I fell asleep. I clocked out. Sorry.
Like there's just like the explanation of the Aether and stuff that you.
But we get that in Endgame.
Yeah.
I know it's technically too late, but like if you've seen
like, you're already
Endgame, you don't need to go
late.
back to see Dark World. Kind of. That's just the impression.
And
I get.
unfortunately, we're going to have to. So.
I
Drats.
I will hold on to all the funny moments of this movie, and when we go through it on the podcast, I will be pointing out
You'll
every
be the
funny
shining
moment that I
sun
like.
on
See, I remember the
Yes,
clip.
dim-lidded,
I remember the
exactly.
clip where he tries to hang his axe on a coat rack and it just falls. I thought that was kind of funny, but I was like, I don't know if that's worth watching a 2-hour movie.
I love that moment.
That's
so
like
much.
watching Morbius as a joke and finding out the only funny part is have sex, and then the rest of the movie is just him being angsty for 2 hours.
Yeah. Did you know that moment with Chris Hemsworth was improvised?
I'm not surprised.
He did that himself.
Back when they were allowed to be funny.
He didn't. That was not scripted. He just hung it up. He looked over, hung it right up on the coat rack.
I'm honest to God not surprised.
Well, that was my least favorite.
Well, I haven't seen I think I would say a good chunk of these by now because there have been so many recently that I skipped. Didn't see Dark World. Can't give a review on it. I fucking hated Eternals. All right, that was like I remember the exact thing I said. I turned to my friend next to me in the theater and I said, "This is a bad DC movie," because back then, before like Superman and even some of the more lighthearted stuff from the last few years, DC was known for like really slow, really build up-y movies that didn't go anywhere. And I have to admit, I do like the Snyderverse. But it reminded me like this me watching Eternals was like, this is what people who don't like Man of Steel describe to me Man of Steel. And I completely get it. And it's like a 3-hour movie, right? It's a pretty
it is
long movie.
It is on
It's 3 hours of nothing. It's just exposition, and exposition can be good. It is literally just world building, and none of it's very interesting. Like, I can't even. There's stuff that I don't remember. There's stuff that I do remember. Nothing happens, and then it's over. They fight, and then it's over.
Like, kill off my favorite character, who was awesome, and I loved his big heart and everything.
I don't even remember who you're talking about because
really?
It's been 3 years. Was he?
He was the only good scene of that movie. When they go to his house and he's looking after what's her face. The bad.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Not the curse. I can't even remember what it's called.
Wasn't the cursed woman?
It's not a curse though.
She's
it's
losing her.
Yeah, she's losing her mind. It's like what happens to them.
Yeah.
Because she's like one of the older machines built or whatever like that, isn't it? So they have to like wipe their memory and everything. And I think that's
I wouldn't have remembered that if you hadn't said that. There was just not a lot in that movie that really stuck out to me.
Well, I really loved that scene. So that's why I bring it up. And then they end up killing Gilgamesh, and I'm like, fuck you. The only good character with good character development, in my opinion.
I wouldn't be surprised if you're right, because I don't remember any of the... So there was some part where I was rolling my eyes. It spans like 3,000 years, right? Her name is Sprite, and I remember that because Sprite, that's the soda. That's the only reason I remember that. And 3,000 years, she's like 12. And then at the end of the movie, they're like, "Oh, you're a human now, so you can age with your actress." And I'm like, "Come on, that's such a cop out." I know something like that was gonna have to happen, but that was so. I think I actually scoffed in the theater. You're no longer an Eternal. You're a human. You can go to high school, and I'm like, "Come on, man! 3,000 years. You couldn't just like record a bunch of things." I'm joking here, but like you could just record like 10 years of footage with this kid as a kid and then just stitch them into future movies. That would have been less stupid than 3,000 years of being 12 and then deciding now, oh, you're aging. I thought that was one of the many, many things in that movie that was just completely ridiculous. I am not looking forward to the Eternals rewatch, and that's where I'll end that.
Okay, fair enough.
It sucked! I'm sorry. No, I'm not.
My least favorite is for, reasons that Marvel basically shot themselves in the foot in terms of their universe building. And that is Quantumania.
I knew he was going to say that as soon as he said shot them in the foot.
They shot themselves in the foot because they introduced a variant that looks entirely the same as all of his other variants.
And then all of them are the same.
And they're all the same.
And they also wanted Kang to be his big bad, and he got defeated by Ant-Man?
Yeah, and then of all the people and it's like it was a little fight in like at the end.
It was a skirmish.
Yeah, it was like watching two toddlers going like
That's peak entertainment. Are you kidding me?
I just want to note to everyone listening that I waved my hands in front of me like a little toddler does.
Yeah, and I had popcorn.
I don't want to go into the whole like other aspect of like the actor, but it's not a great look either. So that's also partially why I dislike the movie, but that has really nothing to do with the story or the writing itself. But yeah, it just wasn't... It had its fun moments, and I really liked Chidi. I don't know his actual name, but he was Chidi in The Good Place. He was the guy with the glowing forehead, if anyone remembers.
Vaguely.
Yeah, and it had its many moments, and like I liked the world building of the quantum universe, and like that we got to experience the quantum universe and everything like that. But other than that, it really was kind of a letdown. And like I thought they were gonna go somewhere, because during like Loki we had all these different variants of all these different, you know, guys and stuff, and then all of a sudden we're introduced Kang, this big bad, and he's the same throughout the entire multiverse. And
I will say, I don't know if you guys have seen Loki season 2, but it definitely ties Kang up pretty well.
It does. Much
better than
really
Quantum.
The thing about that, and I'm
it
assuming
does.
here,
It does it so much better than Quantumania.
I'm assuming here, but I suspect they had to come up with the ending there because they knew they were going to backtrack. Because
You're probably so right.
yeah.
They
Because
probably were like, oh shit, we shot ourselves in the foot with this.
Yeah.
Oh shit, this actor is a piece of shit. Oh shit. How do we tie this? Loki, save us!
And then bring in Doom.
And then bring in Doom.
another 100 trillion to Downey.
Wait. Yeah. Did you know he got paid $15 million for Homecoming?
For
he did 3 days of shooting.
It was like 5 minutes of screen time, right? Not
Yep.
even.
Yep. Three days of shooting, $15 million.
How much do you think they paid him for his likeness in Far From Home? Just the murals and stuff. It's got to be a couple million at least.
Probably.
It's just crazy.
Just to use his I still like RDJ. I think he's
he's great, but like
fantastic
he's
actor.
so expensive.
So
half the bajillion-dollar budget for both of the new Avengers movies are gonna be like checks to Robert Downey
Yeah.
Jr. He probably has so much money that he can probably frame like $1 billion check just on his wall. He doesn't need to cash it. He can just put it on his wall.
No. The wall is reserved for the giant letter A that he has.
Does he have one?
Yes.
That's awesome.
He has the giant letter A that
like for the
falls
Avengers,
off
for the on the building.
Yeah, you know how it fell off in one of the movies?
I think so. Yeah.
He has it.
That is actually perfect.
That's
When
like
you
how
said that.
Thank you.
Thor-
I've seen that. I've seen that clip a little too many times.
He took like 2 or 3 hammers from
5.
Thor sets, 5, and
One's on the bathroom.
who plays
toilet.
Deadpool?
Ryan
Thank you.
Reynolds.
It's
has
been a
a few
long day.
suits, yes.
He's got a few suits. I wouldn't be surprised if Cap took home the shield at least once.
Oh, he has to have a shield.
Probably. I haven't seen like reports on that like the other 3. But
If
I would
the
not be surprised.
kid
at all.
in Chris Evans has not taken a shield home, I don't know what I'd say. I really don't.
If he hadn't, he went back to the set on Deadpool and Wolverine as a different character, snuck around, found a shield, and just left. Wouldn't be surprised.
No, he did. I think it was Dark World when he did the cameo. He took that shield.
He did
Oh
a
no, he
cameo
doesn't
in
have a
Dark World?
shield. Yeah, he does a cameo in Dark World. It's not actually Steve Rogers, Captain America. It's Loki using his illusion abilities to turn himself into it.
Did they
and then
copy
going-
that scene in Endgame where Loki's like goofing
You
around?
see it. It's like in the background. You hear it in the background. I think.
Because
if I'm not
I remember
mistaken.
I remember that in Endgame. And I was like, because some of the time travel stuff, even before they start changing things, is stuff you haven't seen. So I wasn't sure if that was actually in.
Yeah,
it would have been easier to do an Endgame because Chris Evans would have already been there.
Yeah.
So those are our least favorite MCU movies. And, just to wrap things up here, back on the least favorite things, I wanted to talk about maybe our most anticipated rewatches in this road to Doomsday as we go back through all these movies. So who has a most anticipated rewatch?
There's a lot of good ones.
There's a lot of
really
good ones,
is.
but I definitely have one of mine. I definitely have mine.
Mine's going to be a bit of a weird one because of what Connor said earlier. I think my most anticipated rewatch, because I think I've only seen this movie once in theaters, was Eternals.
Really?
I have such... a distaste is not a good term to phrase, but I didn't like Eternals walking out of the theater, but I haven't seen it again. And maybe it was the... and there's so much hostility and anger towards this film.
I wouldn't say anger. I would just say, what the fuck? I guess anger, but
disappointment.
Yeah,
major
absolutely.
disappointment with this one. And I just want to see if my feelings have changed. I mean, Eternals is what, a couple years old at this point?
2022, I think.
It's been a while.
It has
and there's been a lot of other movies since
that have probably been way worse
Eternals
that I skipped.
I'm just curious on how I'll view it this time around.
I'm fascinated how you take it because I've seen it more than once, obviously.
Did you like Eternals? I mean,
I enjoyed it as a standalone.
Yeah.
As if like it was separated, and as if I was just enjoying a movie. I think there's aspects of it I really liked. I think they did a great job with the speedster and speedster representation.
That's one of the things I see the most reposted.
Listen, if there's anything to take away from that movie, it's Gilgamesh and his character and his lovely, beautiful big heart. I love him so much. I'm sorry. and how amazing they did a speedster on screen. Yeah. Like, if you take anything from it, take those two things at the very least.
You're telling me you weren't impressed by The Flash's $20 budget?
No.
Are you kidding?
Not even remotely.
Peak cinema right there. No, the effects in Eternals were definitely not one of its weak points. I think it looked. A lot of the more recent movies have not looked very good. Eternals looked pretty decent.
It looked really good. And the thing about Eternals is it tries to be that Avengers movie without any building.
Like the exposition in Avengers is the movies that came before it. Eternals doesn't have
anything like that. But yeah, I'm fascinated to see where you like that. And you know what my most anticipated is, I don't think anyone's going to be surprised, but it's rewatching Avengers and Iron Man 3. And I'm sorry, I will just watch them back to back twice in a row.
I mean, that's great. You love those movies.
I love those movies so much. I am actually the reason why, honestly, that I'm most anticipated is I want to see how much I remember to quote. Like, I want to try and quote it. Well, because I used to be able to quote most of the movie as it was happening, and I want to see if it's gone or if I can still do it.
I can do that with Shrek, like the first Shrek.
Oh my God.
I've seen most of the Shrek movies like 50 times, 50,000.
So your Shrek
is my most anticipated Marvel movie, guys. No, honestly.
No, but seriously, what is your most
I can't think of like a singular one. I'm looking forward to seeing Spider-Man again. I think maybe if I had to pick, probably Homecoming. I think Homecoming is one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. The problem is there's so many, so it's hard to pick. Mm-hmm. Michael Keaton is a great villain. I like Tom Holland's chemistry with Ned and all of his classmates and even Iron Man.
Guy in the chair.
I genuinely love Homecoming.
They did a great job.
It's a great movie.
Ned and MJ and Tom Holland.
Ned is
Jones.
Ned is my favorite side character, like in a Spider-Man movie.
He's my favorite.
I mean, interesting about Homecoming is Spider-Man or Peter Parker never really had a sidekick or a buddy, a friend like that.
Yeah.
He never had a guy in the chair.
No, he didn't have his guy in the chair.
I would consider Harry Osborn to fill that role. I mean,
not really.
Even in the Raimi movies, it was never really like that.
Yeah.
But Ned...
It was his best friend, but it wasn't like his guy in the chair.
Honestly, he had kind of a tumultuous, I guess is the word, relationship with Harry for a good chunk of the movies. Like, Harry's like, oh yeah, I'm dating MJ, and I know you wanted MJ, but...
Well, there's a lot of jealousy and resentment.
There was a lot.
Like, even before Spider-Man 3, like, Peter and Ned, you can tell they're friends, but you can tell that things have been kind of rocky for a while. In Homecoming, these guys would die for each other.
Oh, yeah.
And Ned, what is it? It's the web shooter, right? He shoots the web shooter at an armed thug to save Peter's life. No powers. I'm Ned's top guy, all right?
I mean, who else would build the Lego Death Star?
Who else would build the Lego Death Star again?
Come on.
All right.
No, I like Ned a lot, and I like. Sorry.
Oh,
I like Ned a lot. Yeah, I'm getting emotional. No, I'm stuffed in my nose. It's that time of year, I guess. I like Ned a lot. I like Peter a lot. I like his camaraderie with Ned and his relationship with his classmates. And I may have said this earlier, I do like the Iron Boy Jr. thing. I know people like to say, "Oh, you little Iron Boy Jr." as like a just a joke. But we had two iterations of Peter Parker on his own. I do enjoy the change of pace where he is I'm not even sure I'd say he's a sidekick because they're not
It's not a
together.
sidekick.
They're really not together in that movie a
wouldn't
lot. He
only-
is his protege.
Yeah.
And
the
I
only
do
time
like
they're together in that movie is when he's getting
on the
reprimanded,
bridge, right?
because he did something that Tony said not to do because he was taking care of it on the down low.
But a lot of people don't like that, I guess you'd say, relationship with Iron Man because they say that it takes away from Peter, and I think it's the opposite.
Yeah.
I think that especially the whole third act of that movie is Peter doing it himself without any
Anything,
help.
yeah.
And doing it right.
In his old suit again,
Yeah.
doing it right, going back the way he should be.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I really liked the mentorship, and I think it improved Peter's character. Honestly,
I think the only thing with that is Far From Home, where a majority of the movie is him kind of mourning Iron Man. Which
I don't hate that either. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like the Spider-Man MCU movies. I like all three. I really like all three.
who hasn't liked him?
There are people online who like, I don't know how to put it. They just this is gonna sound mean to the Raimi movies because I really like the Raimi movies, but they like point to Raimi and say this is the only way you should do it, and they disregard everything else. Like I can kind of understand if you're like, yeah, I didn't like Amazing Spider-Man 2. I mean that makes sense. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I could see people hating that movie. I still can't fathom the distaste for the MCU Spider-Man movies.
I think it's just two very different. and
it is
people
very
aren't-
very
I think
different.
it's a new Spider-Man
Yeah.
that people aren't used to.
and that's not. I don't think it's a bad.
I don't
thing.
think it's a bad thing at all.
I actually think it's a good thing. I like the fact that
I
it's
do,
different.
yeah.
And especially we're going to get a new set of movies, or at the very least a movie, where he's, what do they call it? Street level hero?
Yeah. Where no one knows who
No one knows who
Spider-Man
he is.
anymore.
Nobody's helping him.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see, though, because Bruce Banner is supposed to be in that movie. I have no idea how that's going to happen. Is he going to be the new
Weren't
little
in the
Hulk
comics-
boy Jr. going to cry?
No, but wasn't it in the comics? Wasn't he like? Didn't they have a comic together?
I've read
I'm
a
sure every
small
character
amount
has
of
done a
comics.
comic with every character.
Sure
But like you
it's-
think of the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man, not the Hulk and Spider-Man. Maybe he fights the Hulk. That could be cool. But I suspect Marvel is going to do it where like he's at least for a small amount of time partnered with Bruce Banner in some capacity.
Yeah.
That's just what I expect.
And that's looking to the future.
Yeah.
So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But to wrap it up, I like the Homecoming trilogy. I like the fact that he's contrasted with Iron Man. I like his relationship with Iron Man. I don't think Iron Man overshadows him like a lot of people say. And I think it's a very good alternate take on Spider-Man, especially compared to Raimi's trilogy.
Listen, we didn't need another Spider-Man origin story.
Yeah, exactly.
We certainly
Exactly.
didn't.
I
really enjoyed the fact that we didn't
In
get
a way,
another one.
I mean, this is a popular theory online, but his trilogy is his origin story by the time we
You're
get to the
so
end of No Way
right.
Home.
I have seen
It
that
kind
around.
of is like his because we don't get that.
We don't get the spider bite.
We
We don't
get
even
the
know if
Spider-Man-
Uncle Ben is
Well,
real.
we
Because,
also- we don't know-
I feel like if Uncle Ben existed, or at least in the capacity that you would expect him to, he would have been mentioned by No Way Home.
I feel
the
like
fact
by
that-
his at least by his.
I mean, they
aunt.
gave it to Aunt
Yeah.
May.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we also didn't get the iconic line
Until
Great
Aunt May.
Power, until Great May in the third movie.
Yeah.
So I can see that
Yeah.
that theory being quite popular and correct. Honestly, I see it. It totally makes sense. Because he really doesn't come into like the Spider-Man
That you expect.
or see anywhere else until everyone's forgotten who Peter Parker is and don't know who he is, and then they still know who Spider-Man is.
I'm just going to say, I really, really hope the new one is good. I have no idea what to expect. I really hope it's good. I'm a big Spider-Man guy.
Well, by the end of this podcast, we will probably have seen Brand
Yeah.
New Day.
Unless it gets delayed again, like all the others.
Yeah.
They always get delayed. How
Well,
many times
if it's
has
delayed,
Civil War's
hopefully
been
it's
delayed?
because of a good reason and not just because of
You'd
stupidity.
think, right?
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, it's been an honor. But,
It has been a great
That
pleasure.
it has been, with great honor comes great podcast.
Wait. No, we can definitely come up with great roads to doom comes the great Marvel podcast.
We can do better than that.
That's horrendous.
We'll come up with something better next time.
With
Yeah.
great podcast comes great view count.
with
That is fire writing.
with
Well-
with Nope, it's lost me.
You can do it. I believe in you. Come on.
Give it one more try.
You ever when you bye.
What was that?
I started to try to do that meme where the kid's like,
Have you ever thought where you because
and then I even forgot the meme halfway through. So that's what that was.
Well, gentlemen, it's been an honor. We're signing off now. Thank you for watching, and next time we'll be watching Iron Man 2008.
Peak.
Yay!
We'll find out. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.